What did you get?
Beverages. What do you want to start with, the can?
Oh, sumeras piper. They didn't. Oh, is this sugar free?
No.
Oh, you little
we're in the middle of
bitch.
nowhere,
You gave me
though.
apple.
Yes, I'll have the pear.
Aye, aye, Capitan. All right, anyway, so
Hang on.
this is
Don't we
Winging
do-
It, episode 2.
Winging It episode 2, guys. Welcome back to whoever's listening in and watching.
We haven't actually chatted for a while, have we, babe?
We have not, no.
Why?
Well, time management, life, the difficulties of traveling.
And also probably the truck.
And the truck, yes.
Just lift your mic up a little bit closer to the gob so they can hear you speaking loud and clear.
Pretty sure they can hear me, babe.
Well, we don't know till we know.
How close do you want it to be, I think? I don't want to get it too close.
Well, the great Joe Rogan always tells people, right up in here.
Maybe not that close, babe.
Right up in here.
I don't think people want to hear your mouth moving.
It's art, babe. You need to hear every piece of saliva touching.
This isn't ASMR.
Imagine if we did travelling ASMR.
Would you guys like traveling ASMR? Do people dig that?
Probably. I reckon there's a market. There's a market for everything
Let's
in there.
hear some of ASMR from you, baby.
All right, ready?
Let's hear it.
This is my first time. I'm a virgin, so don't be judgy. Ready? Oh, fuck yeah. And then you're going to take a sip. A sip of the beverage. How was that?
I'm going to give it a go as well. That was thoroughly entertaining. Do people fall asleep to this at night? Is that how it works?
I thought they got off to it. I thought it was like a whole sexual thing.
I think there's different aspects to it. You can either fall asleep to it, or it just relaxes you, or you masturbate to it, right?
Can't say I've ever done that.
Okay, this is my version. Today, I went and I put my finger in his dirty hole. And then...
I think it's too quiet, man.
No, they can hear me. I'm saying... And I like high school.
Okay, yeah.
Is that good?
That's probably too much.
Do you think? Give us a rating.
We've probably
Which one you like more?
We've probably just lost 90% of whoever would be listening to this
Eight
episode.
listeners? Or 8 listeners or 5?
No, we had a good 40-something plays on that last one. I haven't double-checked. If I double-checked, it could be more by now. Steam engine coming in hot.
Out to the yeah. Like and subscribe. Give us a follow.
Yeah, the truck. We had some difficulties with the truck. And people stuffing us around, didn't we? Otherwise, we probably would have got more done at some point in time. Yeah, but I'm having a conversation with you, so I'm talking and looking at you.
Yeah, you're talking to them.
Yeah, but I'm not talking to them because I'm having a conversation.
No, but you
with
are talking to them, babe. There's people sitting there. They're watching.
Yes, but when I speak to you...
Babe, I don't have a camera here, man.
Yes,
just look at the camera.
Remember, the camera's just there to video us. We can still
Shut the
eye
fuck up.
contact
Look at the
it
camera.
to each other. You realise that, right?
Babe, shut up.
I don't think I've watched a podcast, guys, where everyone's looking at the camera. That's just weird because it's supposed to be a conversation.
Well, I'm sorry. We don't have like a fucking few $100,000 setup here. So we have one camera there. Look at that camera. I don't have one here. I don't have one there.
What up, guys? I'm looking
Thank
right
you.
at you. Deep
I
into your
appreciate
soul.
that.
You don't actually have to always look at the camera, but
Just look
Here's
at
to
it,
you.
babe, because you were looking away.
here's to you. Camera.
Camera.
You got a little bit of grass on your mic.
Do I?
We don't have the fluffs. I'm very upset that I don't have the fluff for my damn mic.
You're all good.
The truck's a shambles and I can't find anything.
So you were
Probably-
saying, what happened to the truck?
Yeah, go on. Do tell.
Yeah, you go on, baby.
This is... I thought you would be more passionate about
I thought
talking
you were
about it,
the
'cause
truck master.
I am the truck
You had a
master.
story to tell. So what happened was
Go ahead.
we're making our way up to Cape York. Got all the way up to Cairns. We were literally this close just to getting there. And then there was an oil leak. We discovered an oil leak that kept getting worse by the day. We took it to a mechanic. He let us know it's the crank seals of the car. And then we were looking for a mechanic that wasn't going to be too expensive and we weren't going to get ripped off. And everywhere we looked, they were quoting us about 3,700, 3,500, so pretty much around there. And we understand it's a big job, you know.
That's a bit of it. That's so expensive, though.
It is a steep price, and we felt like from our knowledge and from the context that we had that price was way too high.
Papa!
So we found a mechanic here in Mackay who quoted us a price that we thought was good. That was fair.
What was it? I think it was about 1,800 to change rear main and front main seals, which is pretty damn good considering it's a probably 10.5 hour job. But do go on. What happened next?
And then, so we were like, all right, we've got a date in. We waited for a little bit. We got a car in there. They looked over the car. So we thought we're getting the crank seals change. They gave us a call and they're, look, we've discovered a few different things. And so we're like, all right. So we pop on back and they quote us around $6,000 for a variety of different things. And the main problem is no longer the crank seals, but a fuel pump, and maybe you can recall a few of those other things.
Oh, mate, it's all up here. It's all in my head because I know the whole ins and outs of whatever they were trying to say. But pretty much you got your rear main seal. She was leaking. Apparently the intercooler was leaking. Apparently the rocker cover gasket was leaking. And then the worst of our problems apparently was the fuel injector pump was pissing out diesel. And we may need a new clutch, they said. But after some discussion amongst each other and some discussion amongst my father, came to a conclusion pretty much that we won't do the crankshaft seal because at the end of the day, an oil leak's an oil leak. Worst case scenario, you run out of oil and you got to top it up. And worst this case scenario, it could indeed stuff up your clutch. But then if that is the case, you just change both once it stuffs the clutch. Or as soon as you start slipping, like as soon as the clutch starts slipping. So, and the intercooler we don't need to change because it's an intercooler and there was barely leaking much at all. You can still get a solid amount of Ks out of that intercooler, I reckon. So what we decided we would do was just change the fuel injector pump because we were actually having fuel problems. A full 95 litre tank of fuel would only get us 450 Ks. And then as it got to the quarter of a tank, it would just die, like the truck would just stop. So yeah, it's pissing out fuel and sucking in air, which is not a good combination. So we do the fuel pump and we'll do the rocker cover gasket because that's leaking oil pretty bad, making the main seal leak look worse than it was. And then what did they fix all that for again? It was like,
so we got I think it was 2,700 then
that's right.
Put us in a position where the car didn't quite start the same way that it did before. It took it quite a while, and then within like a couple of days to put us in another position where the car decided to die and not start up at all.
Yeah.
Which led to a discovery. Please, babe. Please tell us.
This is why you either do shit yourself or you keep it within the circle of your friends if you have a mechanic friend. Because pretty much they half-ass it, and what they did with mine is they didn't put the fucking... First off, they didn't even put the engine cover back on. They just chucked it in the back and thought he'll deal with that. And then once the truck actually died on me, I had an investigative look, and they put a new fuel filter in, and on the hoses of your fuel filter you have what do you call them?
Clamps.
Hose clamps, and they didn't even bother tightening the fucking hose clamps. And so those were loose, and I could just move the hose, and diesel was coming out, and air was going in. Again, air going into your system is not good. It cuts the engine out. And so it was easy to fix, but it's just a waste of time. Like, if you're a mechanic, you should be fucking pretty much doing that. But yeah, so they sort of dogged me on that one.
So yeah, moral of the story is do it yourself. Do it yourself. At least you know what you're doing. Because the way that they returned our car as well, everything wasn't put back to how it was, and you could tell that it was a very rushed, messy job. It also put us in the position of having to need to rent cars like every single day. But this wasn't an easy rental. Like, there wasn't just any car available.
We're in Mackay. It's so small. There's not much out there to rent.
And car rentals are very limited here. We were lucky to get a Bunnings car, but pretty much every day that we did not have our truck, we had to go out to Bunnings and switch it between two Bunnings to a different ute. And that was pretty much a few days of us just messing around, switching utes.
There's 186,000 people in Mackay, I think, off the top of my head. Quick maths.
2 + 2 = 4.
But there's only three rental utes in one Bunnings. And so they're always hired out, and you can never get them. And if you do get them, you need to extend it. You need to know if you need to extend it within like an hour of having it, because someone else books it. And then I need it for more, so we'll call them, and then they'll say, sorry, it's booked, but we have one available at the other Bunnings. And then it's a fucking nightmare.
Yes.
It's cheap, but it's a nightmare. It's a fucking...
So it was a nightmare, and our tent broke. There was a massive hole in the tent, and also it turns out pretty much for most of the time while we were renting utes out from Bunnings, our car was just standing there, stagnant, like not moving, not being fixed. Nothing was being done to it. So that whole entire time we wasted money on utes, we could have had our truck. But anyway...
Yeah, they pretty much didn't start the truck until the fourth day of having it, because...
Last day, the day we were supposed to get it back.
They said the parts took longer than expected, which I don't know, maybe it's true, maybe they just fluffed about, but big lesson learnt. I will probably just fix everything myself. Nowadays you have Airtasker too, so if I need someone that has a hoist, I just jump on Airtasker, and surely someone has a hoist and I can come over and use it for a can of piss or a box of beer or something.
Yeah.
Something like that. But yeah, that's that out of the way. Hopefully we can jump back on here a lot more, chat some shit about traveling and that, about our experiences.
Yeah. So yeah, that's always good fun when it comes to truck issues, and I guess it's something to expect when this is what you live out of and you're constantly on the road, you're constantly doing things. Issues are going to happen. You just have to find a good way to manage it and see what you can actually do yourself, because I feel like we could have done that ourselves.
Yeah, especially I reckon just get stuck in.
But yeah, get your hands down and dirty and get stuck in.
Jump on the YouTube.
On the YouTube.
You can learn so much.
Yeah.
But how's the weather? Since in Mackay it's starting to get hot now.
Scorching.
And it just makes me crack up, just the difference in weather we've experienced since we've left. It's only been like 6 months.
Only 6 months.
And we've actually only been really travelling for like 4 maybe. We were in the Gold Coast for like a solid 2 months doing nothing.
Yeah.
You reckon? How's like, it's so hot now, but how was the cold and the floods and shit like before we left?
Oh my lordy. So at the beginning of our journey, literally the day that we left
our rental.
Oh right. So we left our rental. We were actually supposed to start this journey like quite a while, like probably like 6 or 8 months later before we actually begun it. And then obviously the whole thing with our rental happened, where they decided to up the price, where they legally couldn't actually offer it to us. You know, I think a lot of people right now in Australia are in that position where the rent is getting higher. They're kicking people out to get other tenants in that can pay more money. Anyway, we get out of our rental. We're like, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to go travel. We're going to do what we wanted to do. No plan. Barely any money saved. And we just did it. So when we made it out of our rental, the most worst thing that you can imagine happened, and that was extreme rain and floods.
Those of you in Lismore and all that will remember very.
It was really bad. It was really, really bad. And I think for our first initial experience of getting out of our rental starting to live outside of our car.
Not to mention the setup we had was garbage. We had a massive tent, and then if there was no tent, and Gold Coast is not camper friendly, we would sleep in the truck.
Yes.
And it was crammed. We started off sleeping in the front seats. I would sleep in the fucking driver's seat like a fucking... I don't know. I don't know what we were thinking.
Yeah, but, so we were nice to our dogs and we let them sleep in the back of the car because we wanted to make sure they were comfortable. And we slept in the front seats. And I think I really, really felt homeless. Although I denied it. I completely denied it. And I was like, you know what? I don't care. I'm going to go through the struggle and we're just going to make this work. It doesn't matter. And we were stuck on the coast for a while because you physically could not go anywhere. Everything was flooded. All the roads were flooded. And we were in this camping area with this Irish dude, which we talked about in our previous podcast, if you want to hear a little bit about it. And it just started raining really, really bad. Our gazebo just literally went inwards, completely snapped. And the river, we were camping right next to a river. It was just rising. I had mosquito bites all over my body. Like, it was horrendous. I don't think I've ever been butchered by mosquitoes this bad. Can I help you? Raven's
come to
my
say
baby
hello
Raven
because she's being a bit depressed of laying underground. But you're just a dog. You have to stay like
you want an alcoholic beveragino?
You little bitch.
Anyway, everything around our tent was mud. And I remember getting up.
There's some classic footage of me guys amongst that whole chaos.
My sweet little baby over here, he was not having fun. He was mad.
I didn't do well. I don't do well with getting wet and muddy and then having to try and like act normal and do normal day life.
Yeah.
While you know you're gonna have mud all through your car or all through your tent. I think
I'll put a little snippet in. I'll put a little snippet in of Leon in this moment because I recorded him during that time. I was laughing. He wasn't. But if you're on YouTube, you can see this little snippet of him being very happy amongst our dogs, being covered in absolute mud, us trying to have breakfast in
I'm
just
cooking
a mud.
fucking breakfast in a pile of mud.
Yeah.
Straight up from the OG. Dogs barking. But I reckon those experiences at the very start of... Hello?
Raven, come here.
I think those experiences at the very start have made it so nothing phases us.
Yeah.
Like,
sure.
Now I feel so much more comfortable, even though we've added so much to the truck and to the setup. There's no... Like, it's a lot more comfortable. Trustworthy swag here now is actually hella comfortable as well. So much better than a larger tent. It's easier to set up. It's lighter than a rooftop tent, so we can continue going off-road without any major issues. But yeah, those first experiences, there's nothing now that really phases us. Like a bit of rain is like funny almost. Like we just don't, like, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, if it starts pissing and flooding again, it would probably be annoying. It's never fun, but I think now we're in a financial stage where we could probably just get an Airbnb if it starts fucking raining like that. Then we had zero money, zero business. We were just like starting, so literally just wanting to build something and having an idea of like OnlyFans or something and just not even doing any of it.
Yeah.
Stuck at your nana's house and me swimming in a rugby field when it flooded.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
heaps better now, eh? Heaps more onto it and more comfy and
a lot more thick skin now. I think that experience itself has taught a lot about each other and being able to deal with each other's moods, because I'll tell you what, like, traveling with each other 24/7 isn't always easy. It's going to be really hard. Sometimes it's going to be very hard. Like it definitely,
small things make massive arguments, I reckon, a lot of the time.
Yes, they do, for sure.
Sometimes I just want to headbutt you.
It was same, baby.
Just bob and weave.
I just want to knee you in the nuts, you know. Just
Yeah, but I've been practicing Wing Chun Hu, and my nuts are steel. My shriveled up raisins.
But nonetheless, we love each other.
Oh, that was actually a mad throw.
And yeah, and we sometimes have to just ground ourselves and remind ourselves about what we are doing and where we're trying to take this. And we knew at the start it wasn't going to necessarily be easy. I mean, on the internet you see all the highlights, all the beautiful photos, all the beautiful videos, but you don't see what happens in the background.
Let me tell you, for every nice photo of your missus, there's fucking 90 photos that you thought were good that she says, that's so shit, let's take another one. So trust me, there's a lot more than you see on the old socials.
Yeah,
we make it look glamorous.
We do.
Foxy. But it's still fun, it's still awesome. I don't think I could go back to a normal 9-to-5 job. It would be so gay.
Yeah,
there's no way. There's no way I could put up with any of you fucking bosses trying to tell me what to do. Never. Well, I'm empties.
Do another one. Ray's smacking me with her toy.
We got a... what's this stuff? Is this Strongbow?
Strongbow. Do you like Strongbow or not really?
I think it's okay. What flavour?
It'll be apple, babe.
I'm on the ciders. I know it's not the most manliest thing, but...
Yeah, I don't know what
I don't like beer. I think flavour is the best.
I'm still...
As you can see, only one dog's out here at the moment, and that's because we are separating our two bitches at the moment. Because one of them is hormonal, or also just a cunt. The bulldog is about 1.5 years old, and she's gotten to a stage where she wants to be the dominant figure, and will try and fight the Rottweiler. It was at one point like 10 times a fucking day. And she would just get mauled, and me being me, whenever I break them up, I end up all banged up and bitten, and so Raven's outside, Chunky's sleeping inside because she bitches and moans too much.
Yeah, it's definitely a mission with those two.
Why'd you get a female dog, babe?
Well, because I wanted to. She was cute and chubby.
Cute and chubby. Now she's medium, robust, and annoying, and very stubborn.
Yes, very stubborn. It's her way or the highway.
Yeah. She's a character, though, I'll tell you that much. Straight out the fucking gates of Britain, bruv. She's what will they call themselves? She's a Scouser.
Scouser.
She's a Scouser, bruv. Yeah, from way back, bruv. You fuck with her, she'll take your fucking head off, yeah, bruv. But we've actually ended up putting a muzzle on Raven because the damage is getting quite bad when they do fight. Chunky is always second best. And she gets scabs and cuts all over her face. She's calmed down a little bit now that she's off heat. But just today she had another fight. So it's like, which is even more annoying because it's like you got to try and separate them whilst you're traveling in a car.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
Like, what do you do, you know?
It's a mission because we're always like, they were so cute together, and obviously living out of the car, we're in a small space, and they were all good with it. You know what I mean? They would pretty much snuggle up together.
For like a solid 4 months, they were fine. Eh?
Yeah, and then now it's a little bit different, but we're making it work, and we're learning to deal with it, and yeah, just finding ways to make it work with those two.
Yeah, it's hard.
For sure. Very hard.
It's two females. I think if you have two female dogs, they're sometimes going to clash. Chunky's very position and space orientated, so she'll usually fight over those two things. And of course Raven doesn't usually back down because she's quite young too, so she is the head of the head honcho, so step to her, you get the fucking left or right good night.
So my sweet little baby, little tickle. What people have you met so far that have kind of been interesting.
I'm always I'm always the fucking one that gets caught up in the convos, eh?
He does.
Yes. I always meet people and I don't know what it is. They just come and chat with me for ages, and I can't stop talking to them.
Yes, you are.
I don't know. I met some characters. I met, just I don't know, just a whole bunch of people. Fucking just want to lay their lives up to me, eh? Like I'm the angel of reasoning.
Yeah, Leon's
I don't fucking know.
Leon's really good at connecting.
Yeah,
but what do you think some of the more interesting people have been? There was how about that guy that we met in Cairns who offered us an espresso?
Lock your doors.
He was quite intriguing.
I think everybody should lock their fucking doors. Stay away from Cairns in general. Nah, Cairns is nice. There's some whack jobs out there, man. And they blend in too. It's like they blend in like white rice. This little bald English dude and no teeth and shit seemed to be a friendly chappo, and he starts talking about espressos at his house and wanting us to come over. He's rubbing his fucking head, being all high and like
Can
weird.
Can we see
and
a demo, please?
What are you doing?
We need to see a demo of this.
Why don't you come over for an espresso? Yeah, I've got a coffee machine. That sort of shit. And then I'm just like, oh, that's all right. We're just going to go walk our dogs at the beach. He's like, whereabouts? There's a beach here. There's a beach here. Telling us some nice places. And it's like, thank you for that. But then he goes, but again, why don't you come have an espresso first and then go? It's like, we know your little games. We're going to go have an espresso. You're going to fucking drug my espresso, and then I'm going to wake up with a sore butthole.
Not to be judgmental or anything.
To be judgmental, you have to. You got to judge motherfuckers.
Not to be judgmental, because I understand there's a lot of different people out there.
But our dog didn't like him back.
I know.
And Raven's a good judge of character.
I know. But the way he approached us was fine. He asked for a cigarette, whatever. That's cool.
Oh my god. He smoked that fucking cigarette so fast. He was doing these ones. Espresso. Look, he fucking emptied that clip like a. It was legit gone. He smoked that like that.
Pop, pop, pop. Then I go scrub. Yeah, so he was telling us stories, and then he was saying what he was doing.
Oh, he's a black belt in fucking taekwondo and whatnot, eh?
Oh, yeah, and then he'll
kick our heads in.
He's travelled everywhere, and he's waiting for a friend. He's gonna give his friend a
lift.
lift.
That was the sketchy part, hey?
So he's waiting for a friend, and he's gonna give his friend a lift. But then his plans all of a sudden changed.
Then you invite us to your crew for coffee.
He invited us for an espresso at his place.
So what, you're gonna ditch your friend that you haven't seen in ages and that you're supposed to pick up, or you just talking shit trying to get our buttholes sore?
So he was quite adamant on us coming over to his house for an espresso. Very adamant. And then we're like, no, we're going to go take the dog. So how about you go to mine? Have an espresso. And then go to the beach.
Yeah, and after watching that doco where that young Indian guy raped all those dudes by taking them home and pretending to help them.
Jesus, yeah.
Man, I'm a soft white man. I don't need my freshly virgin butthole to be pillaged.
It was just very strange, and it didn't seem like, I don't know, it was just a very odd way he approached it. It wasn't like, oh, do you guys want to come over for mine for a chat, we'll have a coffee, whatever.
If he asked nicely, perhaps.
But it was just the way he asked, like his eyes were bulging out of his head. He kept constantly rubbing his head, like...
Oh, didn't we come up with like an idea that he was chewing too much of that beetle nut shit?
Oh, yeah. So he's got like... barely any teeth, but like the teeth that he does have, they're like black. And he doesn't look like a crackhead. Like he's pretty filled out. He eats well, but the teeth that are remaining in his mouth are completely black.
It could just be an English person thing, though. No offense to all you English people out there.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure he eats this sort of nut that's actually illegal to consume, but it gets you high, and they do it in Papua New Guinea.
PNG.
Do you know what it's called?
Paul Robson, where you at?
Do you know what it's called? Was it?
No, I don't know. It could be a beetle nut. I don't know, but it's just like a nut that people chew.
Yeah.
I'm keen as to try it. I don't know where you get it, but it's like a. I'm assuming it's something like a probably close to some sort of like caffeinated hit or something. I guess.
I don't know. No, I don't think
what's
so.
What's the word?
But it gets you high.
What's the word for it? Like a
pass me your phone. I want to have a look.
No, but what's the stuff called? Jamie, look that up.
Who's Jamie?
Oh, don't worry.
It's a joke with my imaginary friend.
No, what's the word for it? What do you call like a pre-workout? Like a... It's a stimulant. I think it's like a stimulant, maybe, you reckon? Or do you reckon it's like a...
Yeah, it's called beetle nut. So beetle nut is a stimulant
Look at me,
drug.
Leon Martin with the fucking facts. Look at me when I speak to you guys. I know these things. I've been around, okay? I go around so I can tell you and you can listen because I know.
Okay, alright. Are you done now?
Beetle nut.
Beetle nut is a stimulant drug.
Stimulant. Did I not say stimulant?
It speeds up the messages traveling.
It's natural speed.
The brain and the body. Ooh,
I told you.
That's fascinating.
I told you, stimulant, like a pre-workout.
It gives you a burst of energy. Many people chew beetle nut for the energy boost it produces. This is likely due to the nut's natural alkaloids, which release adrenaline. It may also result in feelings of euphoria and well-being. Ooh.
And that's why they make that shit illegal, because they don't want lots of poms running around going, oh, this espresso, martini. Because that's just crazy shit. But I want to try some. I'm down. If you know where to get beetle nuts, slide in my DMs. So, I will buy it off you. But not. I don't have an addictive personality, so I'll be alright.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It should be alright.
Mm.
A little bit of beetle nut. I wonder if you can cook with beetle nut.
A little bit of espresso in my mate's house.
A little bit of beetle nut. Maybe chuck it in the old fucking beetle nut chicken and rice.
Beetle nut chicken and rice. That's kind of cool.
We've been eating out way too much on that. On that same. On while we're on the topic. How do you stop eating out? We have an affinity for like sushi, and I can't stop eating fucking sushi.
Same.
It's a problem.
That's the problem.
It's a big problem because
you said you don't have an addictive personality, but you do. You're addicted to sushi.
But I'm a foodie, and it's hard because I want to get fit because I can train properly now. Sorta. It's hard, but sushi, and it's hard because up here sushi is way more expensive.
Oh my goodness, Mackay, what are you doing with your sushi prices? Like, it's ridiculous.
I remember in Gold Coast the sushi plates started like $3 and they go up to like $5.50 or something. No, in Mackay I think it starts at $4.50 or $5 and then it goes up to like $7.50. So like obviously all the best ones are $7.50 and that's what we fuck with. We fucks with the good ones. We don't get the shitty rolls. We get the nigiris and the fucking abutis and stuff like that.
I'm obsessed, honestly.
$7.30 for a plate and we smash like 12 plates.
I'm getting chubby over here. Like, I love eating. I love eating out. And I have to be honest with you, majority of the time when we eat out, it is a disappointment. But one thing that does not disappoint me, and that is sushi. Yeah. And that is sushi. It
always hits a nail away. Like, always really good.
It's just something about it. Like,
I would love to go to Japan and try that legit sushi.
It's so good. It's so good. You would love it.
I'll come back fucking way heavier. Yeah, fucking sumo wrestling size.
Yes, I probably would too. I'd be like me chubbier, on the chubbier side.
Oh yeah, what we got the dogs some support vests.
Oh god. I don't think we should talk about this. Guys, if you hear any rumours or gossip, they are actually support dogs.
We registered them under the Queensland Support Dog resume.com.
They are registered under the law of Australia and
common
the
law
government. Yes, under the common law. And they are support dogs.
So we got them some of these little red vests.
No hate, please. No hate. They are support animals. They are our children. They do actually identify as humans, but unfortunately, because of the way that they look, people do judge. And they are support animals. So we ordered in some support vests.
They look fucking good, I tell you.
They do. They do look good.
They look the part, eh?
They look the part because...
They are the part.
They are the part.
I feel like I catch you slipping. They're the part.
They are the part, and they help us. They help us a lot with a lot of things. I'm a very emotional person, and my dog, Chunky, comforts me.
I got glaucoma. I've got glaucoma.
Yes. So
Legally blind.
I got bronchitis.
Now we can take him to the national parks. So coming to a park near you is Raven and
she's
Chunky.
a supportive dog.
But it's
So
going to make things
Chunky.
so much easier, I think.
Yes.
We do still need to get the little key tag and the paperwork sorted. That's all.
That's pretty much almost
The wheels
there. We're
are
just
in
waiting for it in
motion.
the mail.
Yeah, the wheels are in motion, which is good, and that saves us a lot of hassle because now we can actually go everywhere without. We're not gonna fuck around and take them into the malls and the
No.
gym, and it's literally just so that we can travel through national parks and camp there because that's some of the best places in Australia.
That's where I'm most emotional, so that's where I need them the most.
That's when my glaucoma acts up a little bit, national parks, dust particles and
Yeah.
fucking bugs and stuff.
Yeah. And Australia, please, you do need to be a bit more dog friendly. I genuinely do not understand. You're allowed to take your 4-wheel drive in the national park. Friggin' make a dust storm with your car.
Run kangaroos over.
The air makes so much bloody noise that you disrupt all the wildlife around you, but your dogs, which are animals, which are creatures to this Mother Earth, are not allowed in Mother Nature. Who are we as humans to say where animals are allowed and where they are not?
There's
You know what I
wild.
mean?
There's
Why-
wild dogs anyway, I believe.
There are wild
So,
dogs anyway. So how...
Riddle me that.
I'm pretty sure a truck is way more disrupting than a dog is. Thank you.
And if they're on the lead, there's no harm involved. I mean, but Australia is a very big place, and I think you would seldom come into trouble. I think it's pretty easy to take them into parks and stuff. But it's always on the back of your mind, I guess. They don't want to get caught.
Yeah, for sure.
But now it doesn't matter
For sure.
because now they're allowed.
They are support animals.
Support animals,
my
and they
friends,
rock
if you
and
have an
roll.
animal and you're traveling full time on the road and you don't want to be restricted to where you go, make your dog or your animal, whatever pet you have, a support animal. Do you know what I mean? Because these beautiful creatures, they deserve to go everywhere where you go.
Yeah, and another thing that we're meaning to get, that I'm pretty damn keen on as well is medicinal marijuana prescribed to us. It's another one that's coming around in Australia, I believe. I heard.
It's actually
You
become a lot easier to get it now.
You can actually call a doctor and they will prescribe you marijuana, which I think is pretty cool. I have to give that a go. See if it's easy to get or not.
By the sounds,
We
of
do
it,
enjoy
it is.
a bit of marijuana. Yeah, I think it has its purposes and its benefits, and I
Yeah,
think
for sure.
I really enjoy it on the occasion. I can't smoke it all the time, and I've never tried indica, and I believe the doctors give out indica, so I want to see what that's like to train on, because I have a mate that trains after smoking some indica, some marijuana, and he kills it. He loves it. He said it makes him so much more focused
Yeah.
and feels more loose and goes with the flow easier.
Loose.
So I'm keen as I can't wait to try that out.
Yeah, definitely. I think here in Australia, I don't know, I think everywhere in the world, and I know there are a lot of places where it's completely legal now, just like
Finally,
recreationally.
yeah.
But it's crazy the history behind it, which I'm not going to get into. But it really is insane why it has become illegal in the first place. And the thing is, it's a natural substance that grows from the earth, and it has a lot of health benefits. And I don't see why something so natural should not be available for your own use. You know what I mean? Like, I do not understand that. But instead, they make it illegal, and so then they have all these drug dealers selling it, which they may lace it with something else. You may not be aware of it, and it gets you hooked. You know what I mean? Why not have something a bit more controlled where it's not illegal and people can go and get it because it's readily available,
Yeah.
and
Well,
they can use it for whatever they may need, whether that is something that they're like depression, you know, or anxiety or whatever.
they
or
sell the
it
real
is,
deal now as well, eh?
you know, just for health benefits or recreational use. I mean, come on now. Like, I know that back in home where I'm from, you can pretty much pick it from the earth itself because it just grows wild. I'm not sure on the legalities of my country though,
Should we take
but
take
I
a
am
stick on your
aware
trip?
of it going wild there. Just like in many other countries, actually. You're right there, love.
They say the real deal as well. It's actual strong shit too.
So,
Actual strong shit.
Yeah.
Should we take a little spin around?
Where are we spinning to, my friend?
Where are we planning? What are we doing, babe?
What are we doing?
We're still in Mackay.
What are we doing?
When are we got to head up to Cape York, and it's a bit of a challenge.
Yes.
Because I don't know if we're going to get flooded or not.
So,
what do we do?
Apparently there are floods coming our way. And while we've been waiting for this baby to get sorted, by the sounds of it and by the looks of weather, there are floods coming into Cape York.
I reckon we can make it.
Coming into this side of Australia. And, I mean, yes, we have dealt with floods. We've been stuck before, but we need to plan smartly and think about what we want to do.
Otherwise, we'll end up like old mate in the river down the road.
Yes. So, yeah, we do
the
have to
bro tried to
plan.
cross the river and the tide must have come up. He must have got stuck. And we saw his ute underwater, and like every day we check it out, and like the tide goes up and down, and then you see his ute goes down, and you see his ute just chilling there, and it goes up, and his ute goes under.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, mate.
So you do have to be careful in floods. Like, anything can happen, and it is pretty wild. Actually, right now, all around the world, there's some pretty wild things
crazy
happening.
shit going on.
In regards to weather.
But I say we head up north for like a few weeks. It's my birthday soon.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is your birthday. Oh my goodness.
Um,
How old are we, baby? How old are you turning?
a wise man never reveals his age.
Oh,
He
you
only
can
reveals
say it,
his
come
knowledge.
on. You're a youngin'.
Let's just say I'm old enough to understand.
So he's turning 25 is what he's trying to say.
25 to life. That's what they reckon.
25.
The joints are hurting.
I'm 28.
Tough to get out of bed sometimes.
How does it feel?
Quarter of a century.
How does it feel to date an old woman?
Quarter of a century. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I look like the older one because I look all bashed
You
up
look
and
like
stuff.
you're 30.
The face
That's why I
is
was
a bit bashed up.
attracted to him. I thought I finally met a man older than me, but no, it turned out he was younger.
This is thanks to Oscar Remy Hunter for getting me into Muay Thai back in the day. Too many bashings to the face. Get my looks from my dad.
What?
But yeah, I think we got time, and we'll head up to Cape York, and we really need to do it because I believe that Cape York's probably one of the best places to visit in Australia.
Very true.
And I want to get it done and dusted before summer really sets in, and then we can just make our way around and visit like Northern Territory, and then I can't wait to get to Western Australia because that's like everyone's go-to, I reckon. Western Australia is like the spot, the place where you find the most beautiful places.
Yes, yeah. That's where I really want to go, and for a while now, I really want to go to Western Australia, so I cannot wait to get there, and I really do hope we get out of Queensland, finally make it at Cape York.
It will be the final stop of Queensland because we've gone up and down, and I reckon we've pretty much seen a lot of the good spots in Queensland. We just need it. We need to do the islands. Yeah, we do need to do the islands. Because I'm an island boy. No, yes. But honestly, it's hard with dogs to do the islands, but now we have those vests and the world is our fucking oyster.
The world is our oyster.
I can see us doing the islands, but I can see us doing the islands later. Like, I can see us travelling around first of Australia, and because we lived in Queensland, it's not overly exciting for us.
As exciting.
So I want to see the rest first, and the islands are close to home where we lived anyway, Gold Coast, a lot of the islands. And then you got your Whit Sundays and that. Those you need a bit of cash money saved up, I believe. You can't just go over there and just swag it randomly. You might be able to, I don't know. But I think it's mainly resorts and shit,
on the beach. Yeah, you can camp on the beach. I'd love to hire out a boat, though. So, yeah, it's something I'd love to do, hire out a boat or some jet skis and really
I'd love to jet ski around them.
The islands.
I'd love to get a dog sitter so that we don't have to fuck with the dogs and we can just go there and spend the time there. Jet ski around. Maybe a repeat of last jet ski session where I flicked you off the back.
Oh my lordy. Yeah, so I took him jet skiing for his birthday last year.
Yeah, he's a big
and at the very start, he was like shit scared. He was honestly terrified. He's like, babe, I don't think I can do this, babe. I can't do this, babe. I can't do this. He was like literally shaking. going as slow as a snail, can't control the jet ski, and I'm like,
hey, no, that's a lie.
It is not a lie.
I wasn't scared. I just didn't know how to operate it properly.
I am speaking. Let the queen speak. So,
Be hit the queen, said the king.
Shut up. So, yeah, we're on the jet ski, and I'm like, babe, you just got to speed up. You got this. So the faster you go, the easier it is to control. Do you know what?
Boy
Do you know what?
gave in.
And he did. And then he got so comfortable. Oh, my Lord. He got so comfortable.
Too comfortable.
So he went
I gave in.
Like, babe, I don't know if I can just... I'm going to... Yeehaw! Just screaming the whole way, going as fast as he could around corners. And then all of a sudden, he just swings around, and I just go flying off this jet ski into the water. I was like, oh, my God. He's just like... And as soon as I rise up from the water, he's like, are you okay, babe? Are you okay?
Listen.
Oh my Lord.
At least I swung around to pick her up. You know, us Irish.
At least he swung around to pick me up. Hats off to you, babe. Gentleman of
us
the year.
Irish, once we try something and we let go, it's mayhem. We do it all. We just fucking hit it. And once I just felt the throttle and I felt the power, and she gave me the... you have built a connection with the jet ski, and I could feel it in between my loin and my groin. I could feel the vibration.
There was a boner there for sure.
I mean, I may have rubbed one out even whilst the seat was vibrating.
For sure, yeah, there was.
You ever go so fucking fast and so hard on the water on your ski that you just get fucking rock hard? That was me, and I think I might have came a little when she came off the back.
I'm so happy for you, babe. I'm so happy you had such a intimate experience with a jet ski.
That's skiing. All those jet ski brothers will know. But no, that'd be sick, eh? Jet ski around the islands and stuff, and leave the dogs somewhere far, far away. Maybe sell them on eBay for $5.
Oh, no, I would never.
Maybe.
Would never.
Just an idea.
Leave them with some dog sitters.
I don't trust any dog sitters, and that's my problem. And I'm pretty sure most dog owners will understand. You don't trust anyone else to raise your dog or like look after it because they have special needs.
They do have.
These two are retards, man. I tell you, these are fucking.
They do have special needs.
Of the most retarded dogs I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at little feetsy poking out.
Yeah.
She's got bad hips and a bad attitude towards cars, trucks, cyclists, runners, hivers, men, old people, black people. All the above. She's got problems with them. She's
got problems with
the other one
every single
has
human.
problems with her. And then she also has fucking dominance problems and all that. So it's hard to trust someone to look after these two.
They are a handful for sure. Then, do you know what? Like, your animals so well, you don't know how another person is going to be able to handle them. Because these two, they're not easy dogs. They're not simple. They're not just like you give them a pat, you give them some food, they follow you around and chill.
They're not your Kelpie, like border collie who just follow you and are naturally obedient.
They're just like two dogs on two different levels, and it takes time to understand and know and predict what they're going to do because they're...
Especially with Raven.
Yeah.
She's the hardest to predict.
She's the hardest. Chunky is a bit of the aggressive one that you need to keep separated, but just leaving them with someone, that's why I think you'd have to leave them separately, babe.
It would be hard because with Raven, it's like I necessarily wouldn't really want someone to walk her, because if she pulls, that person was going to go flying.
You probably need
especially if it's like a
dude.
female lady, like a lady that's a female lady, because you never know, it could be a female they or a female us or a female extraterrestrial nowadays. Who knows?
Well, when Leon was in hospital for like surgery, and he came out and he couldn't walk Raven, and previously before, majority of the time he was the one that was walking her,
the alpha, the
because
omega.
I had a few incidents where I was literally dragged down the street by these two idiots, by Raven and Chunky.
And this is back when we could walk them together.
Yes.
You can't walk them together
Walk them together now. And so I refused to walk her because there were incidents that were very uncomfortable for me, like her trying to drag me under trucks. Anyway,
that was actually scary.
Yes. So
that was a close call, because a truck was, luckily for Anya, the truck was slowing down for a red light, and Raven hates trucks with a passion.
She does.
And she pulled it.
While I was distracted by flowers. And I was not prepared, and she pulled on the lead and literally dragged me almost under the wheels of the truck.
Legit,
luckily, I was
close.
just in that moment, as I was being pulled and dragged, I just I was like, oh shit, and I took the lead, and I let go for a moment, and I just pulled it towards me, and that's what kind of stopped, plus the truck stopped, luckily. But oh my goodness. And then when I was given the chance, well, I didn't really have any choice in the matter, but I had to walk her and learn to handle her myself, which I think was a good thing after he had surgery. And I did really learn to know what I need to do in the situation when she reacts. And
which is all the time.
Yes, which is pretty much all the time.
Oh, it's a never ending.
It is a never ending thing. And she has issues with a lot of different things. So for me to learn how to handle a Rottweiler that reacts to almost anything and everything was a lot. And I'm glad that I learned to do that. But for someone else who's inexperienced with maybe a big dog, that's why you have to get a very experienced dog sitter or someone who's strong who can handle that.
Definitely, like you said, I would definitely put them individually. Probably
yeah, would have to go, in two
Chunky would be easy as heck to deal with.
She's easy.
By herself, so dumb. And she'll just lay there and you just walk her and she's fine. And Raven's would be pretty easy by herself as long as you know how to walk a big dog and understand that she pulls towards a lot of things. Like even if you just had a yard, she wouldn't even need to go for a walker. Just toss something around and maybe have another dog and she'll play with that dog.
Yeah, she's fine in that sense.
Sweet.
Unless you take her for a walk out somewhere, yeah.
But that's probably what we'll do to travel those areas. But definitely Cape York within the next... I'll legit leave in the next week or so.
Next week for sure.
Just leave, go, and then come round. We'll try Northern Territory after, I think. It may be too hot by then. But that's the beauty of fucking travelling. And
sure.
we can legit be like, we'll go from Cape York to Northern Territory and it's smeltering hot. We go, fuck that shit, and we'll just drive down to Tasmania and spend the summer in Tasmania where it's not as hot. True. And then when winter hits, we'll go back up to Northern Territory and spin around. So it's pretty easy. I mean, just depends how long we want to do Australia, because I'm looking forward to leaving Australia almost.
Yeah.
But that's another talk for another day, I reckon.
Another talk for another day. We definitely want to do all of Australia prior to leaving. There are a lot of things happening in the world right now which kind of, I think, restrict you from where you can necessarily go. But yeah, I would love to explore a lot of places. I just feel like the world is such a beautiful place and there's so many amazing experiences waiting. So
yeah, dog.
I would hate to miss out on all of them. I feel like we should wrap this up. That sun is going down rapidly, my baby.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. I think it's probably pretty much longer than when you normally do anyway.
Yeah.
We've only done one.
Normally.
Not normally. But anyway, ciao Bella.
Ciao. Thank you so much, guys, for listening in, and we'll see you on the next
at Wingingit. Oz is our Instagram handles.
Yes, give it a follow.
And then there's a couple TikTok pages. What's your one, babe?
Anya Alexandrovna, or it might be Anya Alexandra, but you can hop onto my Insta page for Wingingit Oz.
And then I've got a TikTok for us as well, called Leon's Lap.
Hop on.
Where I will share pretty much everything because I'm a loose unit.
Nice.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Later.
Cheers, baby.
Oh, mine's empty, bro.